thanks for stopping by. This is Lisa. In today's video, I'm showing you the end product first because I wanted to show you how wonderful these came out. The video has a bit of a couple clunkers in the middle. I come across some problems, but I just want to show you in the end that these turned out great. They are hidden tags using my metal rimmed disc that you see on the top of the tags to slide inside of there. So they are fun and very quirky, and I think the end is a great result. So hang on during the video, during all my mistakes, and you'll see a wonderful thing. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa. Today I'm going to be working on a project making these tag tuck pages. I'm going to be using the metal rimmed tags that I made yesterday. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. I will link it in the description below. But I decided to use them. A lot of people will use them as these little tuck spots, or not tuck spots, but closures for tuck spots. But I decided to make it a little bit different here. So I am going to attach it to the tag. So I have decorated this. So it slides in as if it's just part of the thing. And then you go in and go ahead and tuck it, and it looks like it's just a closure for a tuck spot. I also figure I'm gonna glue it in the page. I don't have a page handy. Let's see again. I'm gonna glue it on the page, the three sides, and leave a spot to be able to stick another card on the side there. So I figured I'd make a couple that would go with my dragonfly journal, which this one will obviously go in here. It's got great colors. And then I figured I'd make a couple basic, generic kind of color ones today, hopefully, if we have enough time. So, all right, I'm going to show you how I made this. All right, so we're going to start with, I have sliced some paper down. These are 8.5 inches long, approximately. 11 inches. I took them from an 8.5 by 11. So they are 11 inches long, and they are about 3.5 inches wide, give or take a little bit. This one's a little skinnier because I took two regular sheets of cardstock that had white on the back, and I glued them together so that they were double-sided and a little thicker. And when I glue them together, I kind of shifted off, and I had to cut the white so it was a little bit smaller. So the intention was for these to make them 3.5 inches wide by the 11 inches. These two came from 12 by 12 papers that were already double-sided, and I just cut the 12 by 12 down to 11 and also to 3.5. So these are one layer but double-sided. These are a scrap of paper, 2 layers, so that they can be double-sided. All right, so I'm gonna grab my folder. All right, so after they're cut to the 3.5 by 11, it is just 2 score lines to get it to close. And what I chose to do was to score it at the, let's do it this way because I want this on the outside. The 4 inches, because valleys make hills, I've heard. So, and then after the 4 inches, I flip it around and do it at 1.5 for the top, which is there. So there you have. It's just barely kissing over the top of it to close, but like I said, the real closure is going to be one of those. All right, so let's just go ahead and score all of them. I think I want this one to be the outside because it'd be for the dragonfly, and it kind of looks like water, so we're going to leave this one the outside. So we got 4 and 1.5. And these are my generic ones. So I think I do want the words on the outside. Now, if I wanted to go like this, all right, so this side is going to be the 4, And this is going to be the 1.5. All right, so that way, by thinking about it for half a second, I was able to make sure that the words end up being facing the correct direction. All right, and the last one. Oh my, okay. I think I'll want the words on the outside. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the 4. I'll write out of my hand. And 1.5. Okay. Oh, this must have been cut a little longer. Did I do 1.5? Yeah. That is a little bit longer than 11. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this. Yeah, I think I'll change the 4 to be a little longer than 4, because then do 4.25. Because then the fold will be a little more hidden. So many folds, so little time. There we go. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and just use a bone folder to make sure that they are all nice and folded well. Nice and flat. Okay. All right, so since I did one already, that's going to go for the dragonfly, which I think both of these would go very well in it. I will start with one of these just to make sure I get at least one of each type done today. So it looks like this was cut just a little bit weirdly on an angle. That's better. Okay. All right, so for my prototype, I cut this hole out that's here. I cut a little deeper than I think I wanted to, or should have. So I'm gonna cut this one a little less. What I originally did was I went to the full hole and then cut up the sides, but I think it's a little farther. So I'm gonna go to about 3/4 of a hole. And then what I did, because it's kind of roundish, is I want to straighten it to make it more like a U. So you pretty much just trim a little bit off until you can get it to go sort of straight. Better to take a little bit and go back and snip a little bit more till you get it to how you want it to go. So now I have a U. So at this time, before I go and glue this together, I am going to ink it. For gluing, simple. We're just going to glue these two sides down or up. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue going up these two sides to make the pocket. Okay. All right, as easy as that. Now, on this one, I did slightly round the top. I used the rounder, and I used the very tiniest, just to ever so slightly nick it off. I didn't want to go too far in it because I didn't want it to show. And I did do the same for the bottom. I think it looks a little nicer when it's just ever so slightly run away. All right, so now I have cut a few of my cards that are gonna go in these already, just to save a little bit of time here. Threw a little bit of decoration on them while I was waiting to film. The cards are going to be 4 inches tall. The 4 inches tall makes them just peek out ever so slightly above the, I don't want to push this too hard because it's still kind of wet. It just, there we go. It just sticks out just ever so slightly above the top of the tag there. So I chose 4 inches tall by 2.5 inches, well, 2 3/4 wide. Some of these, if you glue a little farther, the 2 3/4 might have to get down to 2.5. There, now it's going, okay. But 2 3/4 by 4. And I did round these edges just with the biggest size rounder for those. Okay, now to figure out where we're going to put this, what I've done is I put that tag in there, and basically I just have it about 3/4 of the way from the top. Now, sadly, it's going to get rid of that Cosmos thing on there, but it is what it is. So, that might be a little too bright. I want that one. That one could be kind of fun. Okay. All right. So now this is the part where you have some choices to make on what you want to do, how to attach it. I tried to glue it at first, but it just wasn't going with these metal rim tags because they're a little thicker. Now, obviously, if you just want to glue circles on there, cut circles out of paper and attach those, you can do that. I just like the metal ring tabs because they're nice and sturdy to pull these out. What I have chosen to use are these. They are, they've got the prongs on them. They get pushed in. They're kind of hard to see. Did I put the back on this one? Yeah, I tied the back. They get pushed in and then folded over. So you could use that kind of stuff, or brads would work just fine too. I decided to use these because they were bigger than my brads, and I wanted it a little bit bigger to kind of mimic the center of like this one I did here. I did also alcohol ink it just to kind of cover it up like it was part of the dial, whatever it was. This one on the back, I just did a second copy that's on the front there to cover up the points on the back. And this one, I just covered it with some of my vintage tape, just because it's kind of still gets a little bit rough back there, even though it's folded. So, all right, so on this one, I'm gonna go with this guy here. He's a little bit bigger. Now this is where I got a little bit tricky with these, because this is thicker. So what I did was I found where I wanted it to go, and I pushed it down to ever so slightly make a mark for it. I've got these pens. I actually got them on Temu. They're very slight, almost like a X-Acto knife. You can use that. You can use a pin. I could easily just take a pin, I would think, like this, and go through when you find the spot where you've predetermined it, and go through as I bend my pin. Get in there. But I found that this worked just fine because I had it. Plus I have it. So I'm going to push a hole into all the spots that this went. Just makes it a little bit easier to push it through. Like I said, if you had a brad, you would go ahead and attach the brad on there like you normally put a hole in there for a brad. Okay. Now for these, and I wish I could remember what these are called. I got them back in my scrapbooking days. I have a whole bunch of them. They're all gold and silver though, pretty much. But but I do have different shapes. I've got squares and circles and hearts and stars, and but I picked just the circles today. All right, so once it's through, I'm not going to fold it yet. I'm going to attach it to the card that I want to put in here. And the card that I want to put in here, there it is, is this one. So, like I said, I decided that I wanted it about 3/4 of the way up. And try to make sure that's centered and give that a little push. Now these push through this because it's just a single piece of cardstock. So I did not have to do the line or push it in there and cut it with the thing. So once it's all the way through, just gotta push them down. I'm gonna use my bone folder just to push them down. You can push them in or push them out. I like to push them in because it makes them, I think out you can get caught a little bit more. In, I don't think you can get caught anymore. You can a little bit, but not as much. So there's how you do that. And like I said, if you wanted to put some tape on the back or put like this on the back, and I must have used it already somewhere else. I don't see it. Huh. Okay. Well, let's go with this one, kind of purple. White. No. Let's go with that one. All right, so I'm going to go with this one. All right, just going to ink the edge a little bit for the white. And this I am going to glue on the back because it is not really doing much. Whoa. Besides covering up some of that. There we go. One. Okay. I'm just going to push it in a little extra because it's kind of got to go around and kind of work its way into the grooves of that pointy thing. Gosh, I wish I could remember what those are called. They're not rivets. Maybe it'll come to me by the time the video comes, or the end of the video comes. Okay. So there's that. Like I said, I have decorated with a couple things here already. So if I wanted to decorate it with something else, I could. But I don't want to put too much on this because it has to slide in and out of the card. But so this is going to go. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to slide. All right, so as you can see, it slides in beautifully, covering up that little bitty thing, and it looks as if it's just a closure. But as we all know, it is not just a closure. Now if that's too long, like I feel like it is, we can trim it down a little bit. Okay, this is why I just had it just basically kiss it closed. It's still just a hair too long. Whoops. I know the problem. I just figured it out. All right, since it's not going in farther like the other one was, it is getting caught up it is getting caught up on this right here. Okay, interesting. And I think that's why the first one worked okay for me, because I had used the tape. I made that one. I haven't really tried it into a pocket yet. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so Nick's had idea of putting this on the back, sadly. It might work on this one because it goes a little farther down. Yeah, it's gonna work on this one because it goes a little further down. So we're gonna keep that one on there. This one will go into a different one. And I did not have to cut that down, but that's okay. All right, so on the back, we would just put tape to cover that and not have it stick out. All right, yeah, now it works. Okay, this is why I make the videos and learn by my mistakes, so when we go to do it the next time, it's not so bad. Okay, so let's decorate this little, well, yeah, let's decorate this little guy a little bit. Get some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. All right, so I think this deserves a little bit of a Timmy person. It has that kind of feel to it. Get my Timmy minis out. And maybe a group. They look like they could have worked somewhere that had like a safe on it or a clock. No, I think I like them. Okay, we'll put them on here. Get rid of the little bit out of the edge on the outside. Okay. I probably should have waited till it glued them down until I found out what else I want to use on there, and I probably should have, but okay, it is what it is. I pulled a couple things out from when I was doing it. They are definitely not an 1875 kind of group of gals. No. New York Whaling Company. They could work at a whaling company, right? Put that there. Put that there on top. That'll work. I think a little too tall on that one. Okay, I can do that. Need to block the fact that he's a little upside down on the inside, which is not the worst thing in the world, but all right, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put this one down first. I'll throw a little little bit of inking on the sides. Whoops. All right. Throw that there. And a little bit of vellum. Oh, we gotta be careful with this because it likes to, kind of gotta work it a little bit to make sure it stays. I notice if I don't push on it long enough, I'll turn around and before I know it, the ends have curled up on me. So we'll keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't curl up. Looking good. Make sure it's not in the fold, which it appears it's okay. Okay, get this inked up a little bit. And we're gonna throw that up there. Okay. I probably should put something across the top here. And that would look okay, but how about let's see, what do we got? That would work color-wise, but all right, I think I will do that. Okay. Okay, so let's okay, so time to ink this up and glue it down. Okay, once again, a little bit of vellum. Make sure this decides to stay down. Keep an eye on it. Put this number on there. This one one's a little thicker. I'm going to throw some hard glitter glue on there. Oh, I can get it to stay in my hands. There we go. I wonder if I can fold it down a little bit more now that I cut it. Oops, shoot. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay. All right. Okay, let's round these edges just ever so slightly, like I did on the other one. Before I cut it off. All right, that's a little better. Okay. Need to put it on the back because the back will get glued down. And this, yeah, I really don't see. I really like the colors for it, but I guess you just got to know when to say enough is enough. Yep, we're just going to say enough is enough. Okay, all right, so this one is done. Not greatly, but there we go. Okay, so let's see if we can do one more and not make any mistakes. Okay. All right, so I like this. If you have flowers, stick roses. That'll be nice. I can put some flowers on there. That'd be fun. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with the hole for the card slide, and we're gonna make it, like I said, about 3/4 of the way down. And we are gonna just snip that edge off ever so slightly, just to make me more like a U. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and ink it. I'm gonna round the corners before I finish inking, because I'll just have to go back and re-ink them. So there we go. Okay, so this one is ever so slightly above that one, so hopefully this one will work okay. All right, should I do this one in there, or I do this one. I would have liked to do this one, but I want to make one more, so we'll go with that one. Roses are red, they got some flowers. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Okay, so let's glue the two sides up. Wish I had a steady hand to do this instead of this wavy line that I've got going here. All right. Okay, so all right, that'll fit in beautifully. Okay, so since we're gonna put flowers on there, this could be fun with some colors, or this has got pinks. Let's do that one because it's got some pinks. I'll put some flowers, they'll be cute. Okay, all right, so shall I do a brad since I have color? Too bad my brads are not that direction, they're this direction. Alright, give me just a second. Wasn't planning on getting them out, so they are just slightly out of reach. Okay, so I do have huge green brads and small green brads, but so if we do a big one, it's pretty big. There's a darker green one. That would probably be good. I think I like it. Okay. Well, that was a simple choice. Okay. Now, I am going to, because it is, like I said, a bit thicker, I'm gonna poke a hole through there. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to poke a hole through there, and then we're going to, this, I think I'm going to, all right, so halfway through is about right there. Line to go a little further down so I don't rip the top off of this tag, since this brad is a little wider than those pokey things were. Okay. Well, there we go. And push it flat. Okay. Now I will throw some tape on the back of this just to cover it. And I thought I had a piece of tape out here, which I don't, so we're gonna grab a piece of tape. Probably put a label or something over that, because that is not exactly pretty. Let's do that. tape off temporarily here. All right, so we'll just use the pop hole, and since it's not a full circle, it should be okay to tuck in there. All right, I used, since I thought I was covering it, when I distressed it, I used a little bit of plum here to try to distress the sides. Because the sides of this got distressed a little bit, but thought I was going to cover the back, so okay, that works for me. Okay, yeah. All right, here's a spool of cotton, and tucks in beautifully. Yay! My idea works when it's actually executed properly, which I was worried about for about 30 seconds there. When it's actually executed properly, it works just fine. So, beautiful. Okay, so what did we say? We'd like some flowers. We do. And I also have these guys. That's got some mushrooms, so that's kind of florally. Let's glue that down first, because that's fun. Wrap it around a little maybe. We'll see. I like that, that's cute. A little bit of mushroom on there, very nice. Okay, I did have some purple flowers here from something earlier. Oh, maybe I used them. Oh, I know where they're at. They're in the dragonfly book. Or maybe they're not. Oh, there they are. I knew I had flowers. All right, so this is kind of pinkish purpley, right? But they're kind of small. That's pretty. I like those, that green leaves. Oh, those green leaves look nice with that. I think that's the winner. Not even sure why. I'm going to keep looking. Okay, put those purple flowers back. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. always seem to miss one little leaf when I'm gluing these down. And I'm always afraid I'm gonna rip it while I'm throwing some glue on there, so. Okay, all right, so. Pink and greens would be fun. That's nice. I like that. That could work. I also got the inside I can put some stuff on. Grab a couple things out. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, I like that there. The Elegant Library, being that it's, I don't know, that would probably go good with this one. Okay, we're gonna save that for that one, for another one. All right, we're gonna throw that under there. We'll throw this up here. Get rid of this. This a little thicker. Throw a little bit of this on there. Okay. All right, we're going to put this in there. And maybe some stamp. Kind of florally. Oops. All right, so what color should we do? This would look. Oh, that would probably be cool. Subtle. I like it. All right. And then it was fun when I did this enclosure. All right, this is the seedless preserves. I'm gonna do that one, it's a little darker. And put that up there maybe. Put something across there. Identification check. Destination. Identification check. Throw a number on there. Cute. And throw it up here. I like it. Okay, we'll just throw this guy on there. I'm gonna trim him a little though. There we go. Okay. So let's get these glues locked up. Just want to put a little something up there. Okay. Okay. All right, I think I want a little bit of tape here. Just yeah, okay. All right, put that in there. Oh, come on, you were working before. There we go. Yeah, I definitely like it. Okay, well, from a sort of disaster to actually working, I think we did good. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call that video done. I will work on the other couple ones later. So they definitely have one for my Dragonfly journal for sure. I might even be able to go into it even though it has flowers on there. It's got a lot of the colors for it, so yeah, and like I said, we're gonna attach it to I'll end up attaching it to a sheet, a book page, gluing it on the top. I guess you could even, if you wanted to, glue it again like a thing and put a tuck in there. But I think I do want to put it that way. So glue these 3 sides. If I just want to do 2, I can make a bigger tuck maybe if I wanted to. Leave room for one of my alphabet cards. That could be a good idea. Do that side. So we will see when I go to attach it to a page. But I like that there's options. So. All right, well, that is it for today. I hope my confusion and missteps weren't too jarring. And we all learned something from it. Learn how to do it correctly in the end. But yeah, I like them. I like those the tags that I made, the metal rim tags. They really do go well on there, and they are kind of a surprise when you just think it's a closure. And you go like that and like, oh, look, it actually comes out. So very cool. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you're so inclined. Thanks so much, and have a creative day. Bye now.